Good morning everyone, welcome back to the Hearthstone ladder. My name is Rooster and this is the new July standard season. And we're playing N'Zoth Paladin today. So this is a pretty much stock N'Zoth Paladin list. A few interesting spots, I guess. There is one acidic swamp boost. There's still a lot of weapons on the ladder, so some anti-weapon card can be pretty useful. Could consider running something like Harrison Jones, but I think the ooze in general. The ooze is a better card against non-weapon classes, and it does also help a little bit, at least against early aggression. Against the rogue, I like keeping this True Silver. It does answer most of their early minions, can smash into a Tomb Pillager if I desperately have to. So I kind of like keeping that one. Other flexible spots in the deck include the Rallying Blade, which is again mostly against the more aggressive decks, like mostly Shaman actually. We've got one Keeper of Uldaman, also important in the Shaman matchup. I don't think there's a lot of N'Zoth Paladin decks that would run two of those. One Solemn Vigil, of course, for card draw, and combines really well with a Doomsayer, for example. Do we want to drop a Doomsayer here? Our opponent still has the coin, so he's likely to make. It could prevent a Tomb Pillager, and the Doomsayers don't really do too much against rogues, so I guess that's fine. I don't have a lot to do this turn, so if she gets rid of this, then that's fine with me. If she does nothing, that's also okay. I guess I could have kept it for one more turn and made her do something that she didn't want to do, but I don't think that that was going to work out too well for us anyway. So the rogue's taking it slow, that's a little awkward, but they're unlikely to run any weapon removal, so let me just prepare the weapon here and see what our opponent does here.
Hey, you want to buy a funnel cake?
Looks like more of a Death Rattle build, and that's absolutely fine with me. I was thinking of saving the Kodo for something stealth, but I don't have a way of making a stealth creature have one attack, so that's not going to work for us. I'm fine with using the Kodo here. Also poses a threat on the board, which is nice, and no reason to attack. All right. So we don't have our essential removal pieces, which is a little awkward in the rogue matchup. You really want that equality plus consecrate, equality plus pyromancer to deal with an auctioneer. But so far not looking too bad. I could use some card draw. That's one thing. All right, I don't mind her using the Azure Drake against my True Silver because I already have the answer right here, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so next question. Well, I guess against the rogue we don't mind dropping the Sylvanas here. We don't have a lot of other things to do, and it might convince her to play either the other Eviscerate or a Sap, which is actually fine here. I don't mind that too much. It does pose a threat on the board, and the easiest... Well, I guess a Shadow Strike could also work. Would she have used this Shadow Strike against the Kodo? I think she would have. Was there mana left over? There was mana for a Shadow Strike, so I think she would have used that over the Eviscerate, because Shadow Strike can't go face unless it's already way too late for the rogue, because if the rogue has to use Shadow Strike on a full health Paladin, then things are not looking pretty. Or things are looking really, really pretty, I don't know. Perhaps the rogue has a Malagos on the field or something, I don't see that happen too often. Another flexible spot, as I was saying, is the Spellbreaker, which is mostly to deal with opposing Sylvanas. Yeah, mostly should actually be pretty decent in this matchup because I'm expecting more of a Death Rattle focused rogue. So getting something important is pretty meaningful. Using a backstab and the second eviscerate down. Okay, I'm not too unhappy about that because that really reduces the amount of burst she can muster. So that's pretty good. We've got the Ragnaros next turn, although that's likely to get sapped, but that's okay. And it also seems that she doesn't have the greatest way to deal with the Ragnaros if not for sap. So I like that. I'll just cast this Solemn Vigil for full cost. I'm not expecting to get a big discount against the rogue anyway. And there's the Spellbreaker. So yeah, I'm expecting big things for that one. All right. Hero power of the Paladin, of course, not very effective against the rogue overall. That is interesting. That could throw a big wrench into things. Or, as usual, when I cast a spell like that, you just get a choice of some really, really marginal cards. So let's say Magma Rager, some kind of 1/2 Murloc, and Alarmobot. Yeah. Actually, against the Paladin, where you can keep his 1/1 tokens occupied, a Magma Rager is not the worst card. That's actually kind of funny. I'm a little curious as to what this rogue's up to. I haven't really seen that much from her yet, except one Undercity Huckster and a bunch of removal. So I'm expecting the N'Zoth Miracle Hybrid, but I could of course be wrong. What's happening here? She still has a coin. Interesting. So what's going on? Coin and then... Okay, Southsea Squid Face. That's fine. Do I mind silencing that? I don't mind silencing that at all right now. That is actually pretty good. And I think I like it. I could also set its attack to 1. Do I have another humility effect? I don't have another humility effect on hand. I do have Keeper of Ulman, so that's kind of fine.
Your magic shall not save.
Yeah, that weapon is going to be really annoying if I let that get through. The real question here now is... I guess I can play an Acolyte instead. If I don't... I do have a Forbidden Healing, so I don't need to watch my health that carefully. So I guess this is fine. If I had another humility effect, I likely would have also set its attack to 1. But just healing for 3... That basically makes Elder Peacekeeper into Wuthering Farseer, and that's acceptable. That is the bare minimum benefit you want to get out of your Elder Peacekeeper, though. So
many options.
Basically, just aiming to cycle the Acolyte for 1 card. Not expecting to get much more value out of it against the Rogue, but. At least on an empty board there's a chance. And there's a chance that she might waste valuable resources in getting rid of it. So that's also good. Rallying Blade on average pretty good against Rogue. It gets rid of 2 SI7 agents, so kind of the card advantage from the SI7 agent negated, which is kind of good. Wuthering Farseer is not uncommon. Sap. Ooh, that's really good for us. That's 1 less sap that she can use on an important Death Rattle thing. And runs into the Spellbreaker. Hello there. Alright, so we've pretty much got our answers lined up here. We have the Rallying Blade, we have the Elder Peacekeeper, and I guess another Acolyte? Another Acolyte, not the worst. So we can set this guy to 1. Might take a little bit of time to get rid of that, but playing the Acolyte against something with lowered attack is actually pretty good. So let's go for that. Nope, hello there. Internet's been acting a little strange today. I'm not sure what's going on. No disconnects yet, but some slow responses, which is a little interesting. So didn't have the chance to drop the Ragnaros here, but that's still fine. Do have to be careful about my life total, although N'Zoth Rogue does not really have the amount of burst that another rogue would have. We have got our Sylvanas, which has died, so that would give us another Sylvanas if we cast N'Zoth. That's kind of important to keep track of. Could even... No, I really don't want to use Equality. Gotta save that for when she uses an Auctioneer, I think. So in what way would I get rid of that 4/4? That's an interesting question. Oh, I get a card. That's good. Oh, I don't mind using the second Eldor on the Drake, though. Just neutralizing it a little bit. That's actually kind of good. A Shadow Step? I'm not sure. Okay, that works. In that case, I know where the second Eldor is going. And, well, the Azure Drake is a little awkward, I will admit. Do I just force her to use some resources with playing the Doomsayer? I don't hate that. Cycling the Acolyte for a card is probably decent. I don't have a Pyromancer or... I really would have liked that, but that's not a thing that's happening right now. We could keep her the Edwin, which is also not awful, and then we can Eldor the Drake. Are we scared of any other big stuff? I don't know. Could be some N'Zoth going out, but I don't know what to expect here. I guess that's actually fine. We will take a little bit of damage here, but we'll reduce the damage with the Eldor. And then got another one of these. We shouldn't be scared of dying in the next few turns, mostly because the Eviscerates are both gone. So the spell power is a little dangerous, but much less so because of the missing Eviscerates. Already used one backstab also. Shadow Strike kills our minions regardless of how much spell power she has, so... Yeah, normally Azure Drake is actually kinda dangerous. But this time, okay, another sap. That means there's no sap for Ragnaros anymore, which is pretty good for us. What else is happening? Backstab on that one, alright. Now the real question becomes, do we have a way to get rid of that Auctioneer? And that might be a problem. She may not have a way to get rid of our Keeper of Utliman, and in that case we do have a way to get rid of it. Which will be Equality and running the Keeper into that. And that might be good enough. And in that case we even have the mana to drop Ragnaros, which should be pretty good right now. So I like where this is going, sure. That is definitely acceptable. Any other way of getting rid of that right now? There is not. So this is fine. It's not very pretty, but getting to drop the Ragnaros is actually pretty good. Heals us back up to 23, and is a real problem for the rogue right now. Because all she has is a 1/1 Azure Drake, no more backstabs, so she pretty much needs exactly Shadow Strike, and then she still needs to do 2 damage. So Shadow Strike and Fan of Knives, and that's pretty much all the answers she has, I think. She did use the second Journey below, so maybe some kind of Sylvanas play. Could be a Sylvanas in the deck regardless, actually. Because we did see the Huckster. Perhaps the Huckster is kind of a red herring, and I'm focusing too much on the death rattle aspect of the deck. But so far, okay, okay. Well, that's the thing. I think Ragnaros is going to do some work here. That's actually quite excellent. Still not getting rid of the Azure Drake is going to be a little awkward, I will admit, but there's some good answers in our deck still. We could drop the Kodo here and then trade into the 5/5. Would that be okay? Then we can still heal face for 10 and then Ragnaros heals itself, or the other way around. We heal Ragnaros for 3, that even lets us hero power, so I guess that's kinda good. Do I need the second Kodo for another purpose? I don't think so. Do I really want to drop the Kodo here? I kinda do. Yes. Yes, I actually kinda do. Maybe this is actually just better. Just trading into this, then Ragnaros will either heal itself or heal me. I don't really care about him healing me, actually. I really wanted to heal itself. So I guess that means we just do it this way. Yeah, might as well. Might as well in that case. I'm not really going to use the Forbidden Healings that much. I just really wanted to heal itself at this point. And I don't want to run the risk of... Well, there's not really too much risk, but the 1/1 is kind of meaningless when it's on his side of the field right now. Yeah, it doesn't really do a whole lot. She's been cycling quite a lot, so we could fatigue her out here. That could work. Yeah, so I didn't hate dropping the Kodo there because we could have traded the Ragnaros into the 5/5 if necessary and just healed it to full again. But that does leave my board kind of weak to, for example, Shadow Strike. I'm still expecting the first Shadow Strike, by the way. But if we can get some real leverage out of this Ragnaros here, that's going to be excellent. So we've got the second equality. It could be pretty good, but well, we might be in a little bit of trouble here. Let's see. Cycling into another card, another Journey Below. Oh, I thought she already used 2 of those. Could have been wrong, of course. Oh, that was a Light in the Darkness. There we go. I remember now. All right, those 2 are going face. So Ragnaros can heal itself again. We can probably make Ragnaros heal itself again. That's going to be pretty sweet, I think. That means we True Silver face. I don't hate that. I don't hate that too much. She doesn't seem to have a lot of good answers, so I kinda like that idea. We could also just not hit the Ragnaros into this and then just True Silver it ourselves and hit face with Ragnaros. I like that a lot better, actually. Do we want to Humility? Actually, we can Humility Kodo at some point, so that's still fine. No need... Well, we could actually hit Ragnaros into the Azure Drake. The Azure Drake is really meaningless right now. I really don't care about the Azure Drake at this point. So I think we just start hitting face. She hasn't shown to be able to deal with the Ragnaros. So just let her. There is a Shadow Strike coming, but then she would still need to trade both of her minions into the Ragnaros, and that's fine. I want to keep my equality for after the N'Zoth hits. But for now we can just start hitting face, and that's going to be pretty sweet.
I wonder.
Alright, ma'am, what you got? There's the Shadow Strike. Okay, so she can trade in this one. That's still fine though. We could just... we haven't used any Consecrates yet. Excuse me. Any consecrates, so we can truce over and consecrate that one down, which is not awful. I would really like a consecrate now. Yeah, I would really like that. She's going to trade into the 1/1, isn't she? Yeah. Pretty much expected. Does that help us? It's in a way it kinda does. It might be enough. We would have to use another spell on the Zeril though. Is that okay? That might be fine. Might be fine. Our N'Zoth is just not spectacular enough, but yeah, we kind of want to get some benefit out of combining that with Tyrion, I think. We could actually Doomsayer and Humility. That's really strange, but I think it works. If we Doomsayer and Humility, then she has 5 damage on the board. What else does she have that increases her damage on the board? Oh, she does have the Toxins of Zeril. Okay, so that's a little optimistic, I think. In that case, let's do it this way. Let's do it like this. Hit it down. And do we heal? I don't really care about healing right now. I don't need my Pyromancer. There's 2 Equalities and a Pyromancer left in the deck. We'll draw one before she draws the N'Zoth. I'm pretty... well, I sound more confident than I actually am. But there's basically a 50-50 starting next turn, so as long as she doesn't N'Zoth right now, we should have a very, very reasonable chance of getting rid of whatever she gets out of that. N'Zoth is looking pretty good for her. I will say that, because she's getting a Twilight Summoner, 2 Zerils. The Zerils also do add up. We're not out of the woods yet, but getting rid of the Tyrion is going to be really rough for her. So as soon as I draw that, that's also really good. Karen is going to be a problem. She's used 2 saps already, and that's a real big issue for her. So gets rid of my board again. Alright, that's fine. Nothing to Kodo though. Maybe I should have used the Kodo last turn while I still had something to do with it. That's not the card we need right now. Although Sylvanas is actually kind of good here. Maybe Tyrion is good enough without getting 2 of them. Because I am a little worried about my health right now. Well, not really about my health, but about my future. I think N'Zoth is fine here. Sylvanas will get some value. And that's good enough.
Almost out of cards.
She's running out of cards. She also has the N'Zoth, but we still have a 50-50. Oh, I already used the Consecrate, didn't I? So that's a 1 in 3. I've used the Consecrate. I didn't use my second Pyromancer yet, but I think I did use a Consecrate at some point. I don't remember where, but I am reasonably certain I did. Maybe it was last game, though. Things kind of start to blend together at some point. But Sylvanas is quite good here. I don't think she has a great way of getting rid of that, so... that one +6, +3 attack, alright. So she's just trading everything in, and that's okay with me. She also has to be worried about her own health over here. Okay, that did cost her a lot of resources, so that's good enough.
Thank you.
Now the real problem is going to be N'Zoth, right? Yeah, that is going to be the problem. So I'm hoping to draw Tyrion soon, or well, I do have a board clear now, so I should not need to worry too much about most things. Let's see, if we can Humility, we can Doomsayer. Doomsayer is going to be pretty good, I think. As long as we do Humility and actually kill the other one. Yes. But that's fine. That is absolutely fine. We do have a mana left over to Kodo. So kills that one, she gets a coin. Coins really don't matter right now.
Cards.
So just 7 cards left, of which one is N'Zoth, which is kind of a big problem. We do have an answer right now, and she can't play it this turn unless she kills the Doomsayer, which I'm not sure she can. There's 2 toxins in her hand too, of which one might be draw a card. If one toxin is return N'Zoth to hand, then we might be in trouble. I actually didn't think about that, because she can combine that with the coin actually. That could be ugly. That could actually be really ugly. I don't know about that. But I do have some good cards left, so I should not panic. And she dies in how long? 2 and 3 and 4. That means that's 9. Then 5, that means 14. And then Consecrate finishes her, so I need to Equality Consecrate here. I definitely need to Equality Consecrate here. Out of the question, we want to kill this one off first. A Paladin secret? Why did she... Oh, yeah, of course. That is fine. Let's try that first. That's important to do first, right? Oh, and she also draws a card of the Talnos, so... That's good. 2 more toxins is something to worry about. Oh, did she have a Sylvanas? She didn't, right? I don't think she had a Sylvanas. No, I didn't check.
Well played.
Okay. I was a little worried there, but I didn't see a Sylvanas from her during the game, so she didn't have one in the deck in that case. Because she would have played it there, I think. Yeah, from that point onwards, the game was pretty much over. I would draw Tyrion at one point, and she would die in 3 turns, I think. Alright. That takes a while. Games like that do take a while. But it's a good deck to get your brain working a little bit. Let me pour myself a drink here, because I'm starting to feel my throat already. That's not very good. Okay, Shaman. We need an early start against the Shaman. Getting a Pyromancer is good. Kodo is not something you want to keep, so I think I'll keep 1 Pyromancer and leave it at that. Kind of hoping to get a weapon. Doomsayer is pretty good. Alright, we can make this work. We can certainly make this work. Let's see.
Ah, hello, challenger.
Combining a Pyromancer with oh, Pyromancer's good here. Well, not right now, but it will be good at some point against the Squire. Could coin a Doomsayer, that's a little optimistic. I'll play a Doomsayer next turn if it doesn't die to Flametongue Totem, which it very well might be. If there's a Totem Golem right now, then it dies. It basically dies to a lot of things, except that one, because that is good enough, I think. Although Pyromancer does pretty much the same thing. Actually, this whole board just dies to Pyromancer, so why would I need to... Why would I need to Doomsayer that? That is a good question. I can just Hero Power this down, and I'm not taking any damage, actually.
The light protects me.
Alright. Well, Pyromancer looking pretty good here. He's preserving the Divine Shield, which is probably correct. But if I Pyromancer here and then Pyromancer coin, then nothing has died yet, which is kind of a problem actually. This would be a decent turn to Doomsayer though, because Flame Tongue Totem doesn't get rid of it, costs some extra resources, and we could Pyro Equality if need be on the next turn. That is actually fine. So let's see what he's got here. No easy way to get rid of it. It will always require the use of at least 2 cards. And him using a rock biter on that is pretty good for us. That is a big use of 2 important cards. So I am not too sad about that situation at all. Have we got another spell that we would like to use with a Pyromancer? That's actually kind of the problem. I would like a Humility here, for example. Because nothing is happening. But I play Pyromancer coin and then nothing, right? Yeah. I could actually consecrate here, but there's no threat. There is absolutely no threat. There will be a threat when he plays, for example, a Thunderblood Valiant. Then I would be forced to well Pyromancer Equality, but that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I think... Okay, so this is a board we need to clear. That's a big totem. That's actually kind of a problem. Well, Pyromancer does clear most of the board still, so that's fine-ish, but... we could go for the Pyromancer Consecrate, actually. Pyromancer Coin Consecrate would deal 3 to that thing, so we still have the totem in our face, but that's fine. On the other hand, I don't hate using the equality here. That is actually fine. Because it does deal with the big totem, and he's committed enough to this board that I would be willing to do this. And I also get to draw some cards, so that's fine. Saving the coin for the Pyromancer is cute, but it's not necessary, right? Oh, wait, what, huh? Oh, I should have coined first. Whoops. I didn't think that through. Oh well. It's just 2 squires, but of course I was really thinking, but the Pyromancer died before his effect could go off. Ah, that's the problem. I should have equality'd, then Pyromancer, then coined. No, that also doesn't work. Interesting, actually. So we may have to take a little bit of damage here, but that's fine. So second Pyromancer into coin into True Silver, I guess? That's probably fine. We don't need the Pyromancer for a lot of other things. There's some spell power on the board, which is a little awkward, but sure. Just use the coin here. And then True Silver to kill off this thing. And we're dropping a little low, but we can heal up later. We don't have the Forbidden Healing yet. So that is something to consider. We don't have any Humility or Aldor, so that's also kind of important. And he's a bit... his deck is a bit slower than I expected, so he might be in a little bit of trouble here. That means he's also likely to run Hex, isn't he? So we can't deal with that Fire Elemental right now, but we could... I guess we could Hero Power and Kodo. I don't like that. I don't like any situation in which that Fire Elemental hits me in the face, but the only thing I can do about that is hitting it in the face and then consecrating, and I don't like that at all. We have to commit something on the board. Which one would I rather get hexed? The Cairn or the Sylvanas? I think actually the Cairn right now. So let's go for Cairn and see what happens. We could get horribly burned here. That turn with the Equality Pyromancer, I'm not sure. Yeah, I should have just thrown away the coin at that point. if I had thrown away the coin there, yeah, that would have been much better. Because he wouldn't have had the squires, and I wouldn't have had to do it in the turn after. Maybe I still would have. I don't know. You know, this turn I wouldn't have hated the Kodo plus the Doomsayer. Because he would have needed to commit something to the board to let the Fire Elemental survive. So I kind of like that. Maybe I should have considered that move. What's his play going to be? Doesn't seem to have a Hex for Cairn at least, so that's good for us. It means we can smash Cairn in and then consecrate. Or he could just be disconnected, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here anymore, but if this is a free win, then I guess I'll take it.
An error, to be sure.
Did he just accidentally skip his turn? I don't know. I think I still have to consecrate here, though. Pretty sure I kinda have to consecrate here. I don't like it.
Should I?
Can I just smash this? I can smash this. Smash the Cairn in, and then drop the Ragnaros. Kinda like that. So he did miss some damage there, but at least he's back. I don't know what's going on, though. You better play something, sir. Okay, he's playing something. He did have a Hex. Oh. Yeah, I really want to say sorry right now, but I can't. That's a shame. Is he giving up, or... I think he's giving up. That is a shame. That is a shame indeed. So what's the big difference that would have made? Mostly 6 face damage to me, but I don't think that's going to be very relevant. I don't understand the lightning bolt there, the lightning storm. I think he's just giving up here. So it means I should probably just cut this part out. Because nothing good is happening here. Perhaps he's having connection troubles. I've been there before. That's really frustrating. Just reconnecting to see that your turn has just passed and your opponent is taking advantage of it.
There is a lot at stake here.
Okay, well that does need to die, but that's what we still have to consecrate for, so that's kind of good. Is that going to be the best play? It probably is. And that means, do we commit the Sylvanas? Yeah.
I have no time for games.
Yeah, we do. Because he's already used a Hex. He did use a Hex on the Cairn. So the chances of him having another Hex are rather slim. That's the most important reason. This would have been a decent consecrate here. Let's see, can we easily get rid of that thing? We do not. I guess we'll have to do it this way then. Yeah, sure.
Burn. Let none survive.
The battle.
And do we heal the Sylvanas at this point? In that case, we could have used the humility, actually. One overload card lets him trade. I guess that's useful, sure. That's useful enough. One random overload card lets him make a trade there, so that's kind of important to keep that alive, I think, because it's our only clock right now. If he has a Feral Spirit, yeah, that's mostly the card I'm scared of right now. So our weapon does let us trade into the Trog. Oh, and Lightning Storm. Well, Lightning Storm solves that problem, so that's a nice stop back there. Not much we could have done about that. So I guess I'm okay with it. Oh, whoops. That's a shame. Are we worried about weapons? About... Not really. We're not worried about 4 mana 7/7s, right? I don't think we're worried about 4 mana 7/7s. We do have a humility in hand, so that's not going to do a whole lot here. Especially with the healing totem here. That is actually kind of a big mistake. If he was planning on winning this game still, then that was pretty big. Is there a proper trade into that thing? Not really. Yes, there actually is. Yeah, he wasn't going to win that game anymore. That's a real shame. Not sure what happened to him there. Perhaps he just forgot that it was his turn. I don't know. I have been thinking for a long time on the turn before that, so perhaps he just missed the start of his turn. That's a real shame. In each case, let's try and see if we can get a real game here. That rogue game was sweet, though. I will say that rogue game was sweet. So let's hope this druid game will at least be half as good. Against a druid, do we keep... We don't keep Consecrate, and I don't think we keep Humility. That's just too much of a combo card. Do we keep True Silver? It is kind of part of our early game, and against Cthulhu Druid, for example, it could be pretty good. Sure, I'll keep it. It's not the greatest card ever. I'm talking about the greatest card ever. Against the Druids, Equality does come pretty close to that, I think. Alright, so what kind of Druid would we be up against? I'm thinking against Violet Teacher builds. I still don't want to keep Consecrate just in case they get a good Violet Teacher off, right? The best way to kill Violet Teacher is probably still smashing one guy and the True Silver into it. Probably.
Ah, hello, challenger.
My greetings.
So kind of the problem with Paladin for the last time, basically, has been that it's hard to keep up with other control decks even. Ever since Control Warriors have started to add N'Zoth, Paladin has been kind of struggling in what should be a good matchup for the Paladin. So that's actually that was the one really good matchup, and it's not as good as it was anymore. Are we just letting him trade into... yeah, Eldor. We can play Eldor here. It's looking like a Violet Teacher build, so that is something to be worried about. That means we should be careful with our Consecrate too. If he gets a nice Teacher turn though, then I will definitely... oh, that's a dangerous card too. I'm fine with True Silvering that down though. That desperately needs to die this turn, because anything else we do this turn is going to not really matter. We could Eldor it, I guess, but then he can hero power down our Eldor and just keep developing his board. That's not going to end well for us. So Innervate's Argent Commander. That's an interesting card. That's a card I did not expect, I will say. So what do we do against that? I guess we could neuter it with an Eldor. That's not the worst idea. We're taking a lot of damage here, which is the main concern right now. May have to Pyromancer Equality. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But any other plan will result in us taking more damage next turn, and possibly even dying to Savage Roar. Did I count that? It's 7 on the field, that's Savage Roar for 13. That's kind of a problem. If I consecrate here, I can smash into that thing, but that's still terrible. Pyromancer equality, sure. I'm making the same mistake again. I am such...
An error, to be sure.
That's exactly the same mistake as I made against... I'm not sure how I should be approaching it. The Divine Shields are so awkward, wow. The Divine Shields are really, really awkward. It's incredible. Okay, we do have some healing, so that's okay. We can consecrate and hit this thing, so we get down to 9. Down to 9 is okay. And we can drop the Doomsayer, so we have some respite for next turn. That's fine. That's fine. I don't like where this is going. But we can recoup as long as he doesn't kill us right now, which I don't think he can. Doomsayer just to give us 1 turn of breathing room, basically, and then we can possibly just Forbidden Healing for 14. I don't know. If that's our best play, I would be a little disappointed. We can summon Vigil and... No, that's terrible. He can't... There's no real way he can kill us from... Yeah, if he has Swipe and Living Roots, I guess we die. No wait, Swipe and Living Roots means 7 damage. So we're not yet dead. I think we're drawing some cards in that case. I don't think we're winning with this hand. That's kind of the problem. So we have to take a little bit of risk. Tyrion next turn is going to be really great. So that means we don't have time to heal next turn. So we might just do it now. Is that going to be better than making a 1-1? If we don't have time to heal, then at least we don't die to double swipe, right? So sure. Let's heal for 6. If we heal for 6 now, we can drop Tyrion next turn and then possibly be okay. Because yeah. That is meaningful. That trades for Tyrion, at least, but... Ragnaros is not awful either. Let's see. Any other moves? We play something that costs 8 here, of course. And perhaps... We do die to double swipe if we play Tyrion, so I guess Ragnaros is going to be better. The problem here being that he can hit us for 6 again, so basically we're down to 10. But I don't think he would have to mark... No, I don't think he can kill us this turn. And that means we're dropping Tyrion, and... Well, he's getting pretty close. He's doing a decent job at bringing us down low enough. And now Swipe kills us again. Unless we hit face with Ragnaros, so we have the guaranteed heal to our face. That's actually interesting. Would that be correct? I guess it would be. He doesn't seem to have an answer to Tyrion, unless he has Mulch, in which case, well... Congratulations to you, sir. That would mean if he mulches this, then I guess we're dead. Anything we can do about that? Not really. Not really, no. So in that case, we just drop Tyrion. And do we go for the 50-50? I don't think we can go for the 50-50. So let's go face here. To have the rag guaranteed heal us. So we don't die to swipe. I think that's more important than getting rid of his minions, but I could be wrong about that. He could hero power Tyrion. Can he power through? If he Savage Roars, Savage Roar hero power. He would need to hero power that still. He still does need to do that. And then we get another Tyrion out, which might be enough to save us here. So hero powers that, kills Tyrion, hits us for 5, hits us for 7. Alright. So how do we survive here? We do have a weapon, so we can... Do we ever survive if we don't N'Zoth here? I don't know about that. We can Kodo.
Should
We can turn something into 1 attack after that die, so probably this one. We hit that. Then he has 4, he has 7 damage. And then we hit face with Ragnaros, so we don't die, right? I think that's going to be better. So Kodo. Kodo into this thing. We might also take a 50-50. I don't like that though. We either die to Savage Roar or we die to Swipe, right? If we heal for 8, we're up to 12, so Savage Roar kills us, but Swipe does not. It's either... I think chances are better if I... No. Let's do it this way again. I don't know about that. Oh, wait. There was a way. There was a way to get the Post of Both Worlds. That would be really awkward then. So he has 6, he has 9, he needs Swipe, or he needs Savage Roar, or does that work? Oh, that does work, doesn't it? That does exactly lethal. So there was a way, but we would still die to Swipe, I think. So that's kind of a problem. I could have hit something, and then I could have equality'd. So that would leave him with just the Raptor on the field. Me at 12 and a bunch of 1 health minions on the field. So the problem there is Swipe. But if I would have just conceded that I lost if he had Swipe, regardless. Well, if I'm not playing around Swipe, then I can just... No, I couldn't. I needed the Ragnaros heal to face. So using equality there would have been correct. That's really strange. Hitting something first with Ragnaros and then equality to bring Ragnaros' maximum health down to 1, so he's no longer damaged, so he doesn't heal himself. Yeah. That's really odd. But that would have given me another turn at least. And perhaps enough time to play the second to play the Nazath, thus getting the second Tyrion and probably winning that game. That's really interesting.
My hammer burns with holy fire.
Alright, so against a Shaman, I'm definitely keeping Doomsayer. I don't think I want Forbidden Healing. And do I want Consecrate? Consecrate by itself is not good against Shaman, so I think I'll mulligan that away. I'm not sure I'm correct in that assumption. I always get this feeling that against Shaman, everything has 3 health, so a Consecrate by itself just doesn't do enough. Of course, the last Shaman we faced didn't really apply to that. Because he just played a bunch of totems, and Consecrate is good against a board full of totems. I will say that.
Hello.
So let's see what kind of Shaman we're up against here. Not really saying too much. If this is a second Trug, I think I'll just Doomsayer here. This is not the worst Doomsayer. So he can Lightning Bolt it, and that's... Even if he Lightning Bolts it, he needs some additional damage. So Lightning Bolt by itself doesn't do enough.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
So he needs to commit more, and that's at least 1 Rockbiter out of his hand, so that's okay. We don't have a way to get rid of the Trog though, so that's kind of a problem. We'll think about that some more. Every 1/1 is something he needs to deal with though, so that's good. I guess he doesn't... Well, if he smashes the Trog into that, then he's losing 1 damage. But doing that makes him more vulnerable against Pyromancer Equality again. I never realized the importance of having Divine Shields against Pyro Equality. That's actually really neat. Getting 2 equalities is not exactly what we're looking for though, so that's kind of awkward. And we are facing a lot of damage here. Do we just equality that beforehand? I don't think that's correct. What would that possibly do? Well, it eliminates the chance that he's trading off. So I guess that's good in a way. I mean, the best we're doing otherwise is just humilitying a minion. I guess this is fine. It just means he doesn't get to trade his Finley into the 1/1. And it means every one of these minions, any one of these minions, dies to just 1 hero power. So that's correct in a way. Especially since we have the second one. It's not looking good for us. I will concede that one, but we do have some decent options. So that one's not awful. Definitely want to get rid of this thing here before it starts to hurt more. Not in a great spot, especially since we didn't get to hero power that turn, but I think getting rid of the Trog is going to be more important at this point.
It's getting hot in here.
Now, if we could just get a Pyromancer at this point, that would be really sweet. Still a really strong start for him. So that's not good for us. Not the card we need again. Playing off curve is not where you want to be. What needs to die? I think we're basically just dead here already. We could heal for 12, but then he hits us for 10 again. We can kill this. Kill this, heal for 12. In that case, we might as well... No, humility doesn't do enough. In that case, we could hero power, we could Kodo and humility. I don't know about that. We could Kodo and hope to get something good, but we're basically dead already, aren't we? I think we're healing and just hoping we don't die next turn, so we're able to draw into Pyromancer. I think that's our only move right now. So basically every forbidden healing gives us another turn. And that's gonna have to do. At least we also have humility, so we can pyro humility equality, and that could save us right now. But we pretty much need a Pyromancer right now, and that is not what we're looking for. We could survive for one more turn, I guess. He has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 damage on the field. We heal for 14. That is kind of okay. We could preemptively equality his board. Does that help? Not really. Not really, no. Perhaps Acolyte and heal? Acolyte and heal works, I think. Sure, let's do that. No, hello there. Thank you. Yeah, that's not good for us. He might still kill us here, but he can't drop any minions unless he trades first, so that's kind of good. Does not trade, okay. So he needs Lava Burst. Well, Lava Burst doesn't kill us. We're still pretty much dead even if we draw into that thing, though. So Pyromancer or bust, again. You are not a Pyromancer. I think we're done.
Well played.
That's unfortunate, but yeah. So if you're facing a lot of control-y decks, then Paladin might be very good, but it's just a little too reactive, especially against the more aggressive decks. You really need to get a good start. You need to get your board wipes, and even then you might still struggle despite the amount of heals in your deck. So an interesting experiment, but not recommended on the ladder right now. So don't drop all of your dust for a Light Lord, a Tyrion, a Cairn, 2 Forbidden Healings, like I did. Although I'm pretty sure I'll make some use of those cards in the future. Alright, hope you enjoyed this first episode of the month of July. I'll be back tomorrow, so if you have any suggestions on what decks to play, please leave a comment below and I'll think about it for the coming week. And in each case, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.